Good morning. Another early one today is because the CPA 1 conference is happening today and yesterday. So, I mean, I'm attending online. I'm attending. Am I still attending? It's online anyways, but I wanted to do this Facebook Live before the conference, so I don't forget about it at the end of the day. So the CRA has started to resume some of its activities. It had shut down some pieces of it, like the reviews department got shut down. They weren't doing any audits, any new audits. And so some of those activities now are resuming because we are through the biggest piece of uncertainty for the pandemic so far. And I mean, they still have to do that stuff, even though we're in a weird, strange time. So they're starting again, but it's not like it used to be, right? So all the CRA employees, most of them, are working from home, which means that you might get a phone call from the CRA and it might be from somebody's personal cell phone, which is super weird and makes it really hard to determine whether it's real or not. Because we know that there are so many CRA scams, like so many scams. So if you get a phone call from a number that's like a 587 number or something like that, then it all the spidey senses start going off, right? Like it feels like, oh, this is not legit. Like, why would the CRA not call me on a 1-800 number? But it's because all the employees are working from home and actually using their own personal cell phones. So that makes it harder to know, right? I have definitely had phone calls, or it comes up unknown number a lot of times. And I look at it and I'm like, I'm not answering that. Like, I don't know who that is. But then I get a message and it's the CRA. So the important thing is if you get a phone call from a CRA agent and you're not sure if it's legit or not, they have to give you their name and their number and their agent ID. So you can ask for all those things, write them down, and then call the 1-800 number of the CRA for the relevant section. Like if it's a business inquiry, call the business inquiries line. Call that number, give them all that information, and they'll tell you if it was a legitimate phone call or not. And then you can call the agent back who called you and deal with whatever their request is. So that's the main way that you can keep yourself safe, and I really recommend doing that if you don't know. Even if you think you know, it's kind of a good idea because those scammers are really good at impersonating the CRA. So just keep yourself safe for sure. Some of the reasons the CRA might be calling you is to arrange payment options, to ask for supporting documents on like your tax return or something like that. Or sometimes they just have questions that you can answer over the phone and you don't necessarily need to provide any documentation. Those are my favorite ones. They are the least amount of effort. So the CRA very well could be calling you. You might start getting letters from them that you hadn't received in a long time. I even have heard of, in some instances, the CRA sending a direct email to a client with a request. I've only heard of that once, but it was legit. It really did come from the CRA. But again, if you get an email or you get a letter or anything like that, call the 1-800 number for the section of the CRA that you need, and then just to verify that in fact that came from the CRA, and then you can deal with it. Don't just ignore it because you think it's a scam. Definitely call them and ask them about it. I will link to the news release that the CRA has put out, or just the numbers. I'll just link you to the numbers. You don't need the full release, so that you have the 1-800 numbers to call for your own safety. If you have any questions though, definitely leave them in the comments. I don't know where they're going to be, and I'll help you out. I'd love to. I hope you're doing well on this Friday morning, soon to be the weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.